How to University Open Day in 5 steps. Best time to begin looking is about this time of the year in around January, February of year 12, because as soon as you get into year 13 or the second year of college, if you apply to medical, dentistry, veterinary or Oxford or Cambridge, their applications have to be in by the middle of October, and most open days are usually held either in the summer, kind of like in June or July time, or around September time. I have 5 top tips for how you can get the best out of a university open day. My first tip, number 1, is know what course you want to do. Many universities have a couple of subjects that they're renowned for. For example, Queen Mary University of London is a good uni for English, and also its Sparks campus is good, really good for dentistry. My biggest advice is research the course, because that is the thing that you are there to study. If you don't do your research, you'll end up at a university where you don't get on with the course and it doesn't suit you. Maybe it's the structure of it, or maybe it's what you learn in first year which really puts you off. So make sure you do check out first year, second year, third year, see what's compulsory, see what options you have to choose, for example modules. Researching your course is the biggest and most important thing that you need to do before you plan your open day. Or if you're still a bit unsure, the open day is where you can go to welcome talks and introductory talks, or like you can go to practice lectures, and they can just give you like half an hour run through of what a first year lecture might be like, so you get the idea, see if you enjoy it. Most universities aren't campus universities. Those that are mainly Oxford and Cambridge, and the odd other university. But the geography of the area is something that you need to really enjoy. Think this is the place that you're going to be walking down the streets, this is where your nightlife will be, your social life, and breaks from your work life as well. And this can also mean in the later years, towards the end of your study, what opportunities are in that area might be for you, or you having to consider moving away from where you studied to then go further. Number 2, when are they holding the open day? This is one thing that you need to get on from February-ish time, March time, any time really before May if you can, because the many open days will have slots, and if you can't sign up to it, then you're not going to be able to go in general. So even though there'll be positions to go on the open day, the registration will already have closed, and I missed out because of that. The university I'm at now, I didn't go to the open day for until about 3-4 months before actually attending the university, so I had no idea what the campus was actually like at all, because I missed the open day. So if you do miss it, you can still catch up that way, but my advice is do not miss it, because it's such an important factor. You get to understand the area and the people and the students a lot more than you can do online or through prospectuses. Combined with this, you need to figure out how you're going to get there. If you live about 5 hours away from the university you plan on visiting, then you are going to need to go up there the day before, because open days get very, very, very hectic. There are lots of nervous students, worried parents, people trying to coordinate the whole event. So my advice is get there early, plan your travel, plan how long you're going to do. And this brings me on to my 3rd point. When researching open days, look at the opportunity to visit welcome talks, introductory talks, finance talks, Q&A, anything about your course. Attend as many talks as you can on the open day, because this is what's really going to give you an insight to your student living, and also let you see what kind of lecturers there are. I remember I went on an open day to Oxford University, and at one of the colleges there was this dreadful dreadful woman. She was boring and bland and glassy. She just looked straight through you. She put me off from the whole college. What really redeemed itself was talking to a student from that college and kind of getting a better feel for it, really, because she was not a good, actually just schedule timings. Some talks will ask you to be there 15 minutes prior, so if you have a talk that ends at 1 o'clock and one that then begins at 1 o'clock, then you need to factor how close they are to each other, if you have time to maybe glide straight into the next one, or if there's a repeated talk that you can go to of the same thing later. 4. My biggest point is be independent on the open day. There is nothing worse you can do than huddle next to your parent, not say a word, let them do all the talking, let them answer all the questions, because at the end of the day, who's going to be studying there? What I did with my parents was that we would split up for any tours, like accommodation tours or campus tours, department tours, those kind of things, so that we could both experience it for ourselves and form our own judgments. Because a lot of the tours are student guided, it gives you an opportunity to bond with someone who's at your own kind of level and age and really understands what you're going through and what you will be going through. Ask questions, get to know as much about the university as you can. Ask about what course they do, and if they don't do the same course as you, ask about student living. Ask so many questions, and even if you ask the same questions to other students, the more the better. The more different interpretations you can get of the same place. I really, really recommend this. So to summarise that point, go solo, explore the place for yourself, don't have your parents clouding your judgment. And I'm not saying they're a bad thing, but I've been on tours where the parents literally, it's like the kids aren't even there. And in reality, about a year later, these children, I'm going to call them children because they're not yet independent. And this is a really, really good learning curve because it's the environment that you may potentially be spending the next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years of your life. My 5th point is the social side. I didn't realise that this would be such a big factor around my open days, but now that I'm at university, it is really quite important because you do not have 5 hours or this is really important because you no longer have 5 hours of school 5 days a week. The contact time that you have is significantly reduced compared to 6th form and college, and so you do have to factor in a lot more time for reading and doing your studying, doing your assignments, but at the same time you have so much more free time to explore the city that you're living in. But also you figure out what your student union at this university is. Do they put on their own events? How regular are they? What kind of turnout do they get? How popular are they? And what kind of things they have? This is a really good question to ask students as well. If you say, what's the kind of local haunt, where do the students go to socialise or on their nights out? This is something that I'm not going to lie, at university it is known for being a very studenty, drinky, messy, fun place. So there are many different kind of nights out you can go on, and especially societies might do interesting things such as going in groups to say like a roller disco, or organising kind of visits to one-off events that might be happening in the city or something. So this is something to really be aware of, especially because the student union are people that are going to also be connected with your welfare, mental health, finance. So if you can get to know a bit about this as well, that would be amazing. A rundown. What course are you going for? Research it. When are they holding their open day and how are you going to get there? Welcome talks, finance talks, course talks, department talks. Talk to the department. I've got a secret thing. I've got a little anecdote for you in a second. Talk to students and ask them questions. Get to know as much as you can about the university and the course as possible. 5th, student living, student life. This is a really big one because at the end of the day, you want university to be not only an educational experience, but you also want to get the most out of it whilst you can. I mean, a lot of people say this, but the independence and freedom that you have here is some that you're probably not going to have again for a while. So learn as much about it as you can so that when it comes to choosing universities, be sure that whichever one you ended up going to, you will be happy at. Okay, so here's the story. I went to an open day at Bristol University and I asked the department whether they do theatre trips because I'm an English student and that's obviously interlinked. If you do Shakespeare, then you're going to expect to see some Shakespeare. And they said they didn't, and this was, for me, that was the break it. I was like, if my sixth form can take me on theatre trips and enrich my studies now, then why am I going to go to a university that doesn't offer that as part of the course? So that's why I didn't even bother putting Bristol down on my uni application. And the university that I'm at now, I have been to the Globe Theatre twice, and that was just for workshops. I hope you found this really helpful, and if you do have any questions, just comment below and I'll see how I can help you out. Anyway, good luck!